Today we're talking about one of the most important concepts when it comes to improving your golf game and your golf swing. I'm going to make it really, really simple by using this ball. This is one of my boys' basketballs. So let's hold the basketball, okay? And I'm just going to take my kind of regular setup and just sort of make a backswing here. So I get to hopefully what would look like kind of top of the backswing position. Now, if I wanted to throw this basketball down towards the green, I don't think I'm going to reach the green of the flag, but in that direction, let's go through how I would do that. And this is really going to lead on to then what we do in the golf swing. So first of all, let's go up to the top of my sort of backswing here. Now from this position, I'm going to hold my body in position. I'm not going to move my legs. I'm not going to move my chest. I'm not going to move my shoulders. All I'm going to do with my hands and arms, I'm going to throw the basketball down towards the ground. Okay, and obviously when I do that, it's just going to kind of pop back up. So let me show you what that would look like. We go here, and then with my hands and arms, you can see me just throwing that basketball down towards the ground. Hopefully looks pretty straightforward. I'd love you to do this. I'm sure you're not going to have a basketball to hand, but maybe after this video, go and try this. So that basketball was going down towards the ground and straight back up again. It wasn't going out towards my target. But watch what would happen if from the top of my swing, I still try and throw the basketball down towards the ground. But as I do that, I'm going to rotate my body out towards the target. So I'm going to try and finish kind of in this position, which would look hopefully like the end of a golf swing. So all I'm doing now is I'm throwing the basketball down to the ground, but I'm rotating my body towards the target. Well, that would look more like this. Okay, sort of out towards the target. Maybe not exactly, but it was definitely different. Okay, I'm just going to do that once more so you can see. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to throw it down and turn. Okay, and there we see the basketball now going a little straight that time. Definitely not making it towards the green, but you can see how different that was. So in that little demonstration, my hands and arms were kind of responsible for the down part, and my body was kind of responsible for making it go towards the target. Now, what happens in a lot of golf swings, and we'll obviously grab a golf club in a moment, is we think too much about what our hands and arms are doing. So in a golf swing sense, many of you would do this. You would go up here, and with your hands and arms, you'd be thinking about, how can I, with my hands and arms, throw this ball towards the target? So you can see me moving my hands and arms in a very different direction, more out in this direction. So if I do that, if I try and move the basketball sort of out towards the target with my hands and arms, and then I use my body as well, we get something that looks a bit more like this. Now you can see the basketball has gone way off to the left because my hands and arms tried to move the club out and then my body turned. My sequencing was way out and it went left. So when we grab a golf club, think about what that would look like in a golf swing. And this might explain why so many of you swing over the top, why you're steep, why you feel like you have to stop turning through the golf and you have to stall out your rotation. It's because of this kind of sequence of events that we've just sort of gone through. So obviously now I've got my golf club. So if I took a setup towards this golf ball, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and make that poor move. From here, I'm going to try and feel like the hands and arms help the golf club move towards the target. This is what so many of you are doing. Then as you use your body, look where the club head's gone. Way on the outside. So what happens from here? We cut across it, or the body starts to stall. If the body stalls, it often jumps. So if you ever have feelings that you can't turn through the ball, or if you feel like you're maybe standing up through the ball, or if you maybe feel like your club is swiping across the ball, it could well be due to this. So let me show you what that would kind of look like. I'd go up, hands and arms would try and move the club out towards the target. Then we turn the body, and then we get shots that are kind of left and low. And on that particular shot, look at that club path. Hopefully that camera's picking that up, minus 12.1 degrees. So on that particular swing, my club traveled left of target by 12 degrees. Let me go ahead and show you a different shot, and then we're going to go through a really simple drill that you can do to sort of help build this sort of into your golf swing. So on this particular swing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top, and what I'm going to do with my hands and arms, I'm going to add in just the down. Look at that, just the downward. They're not moving that club towards the ball, they're moving that club down towards the ground. What will move the club towards the ball is when I start to introduce my body turn. So let me go ahead and hit one like that. So I'm going to do it as a little pump drill. I'm going to go up, hands go down, hands go down, hands go down. Then we introduce the body turn. And although that went a little left, the path should be a lot better. What was my club path? 0. dead straight. So how did I get that dead straight swing, that dead neutral club path? Well, my hands and arms added in the down and my body added the out. So here's a little drill that you can do. So I'd love you to set this up because this is how you're going to practice and get this in your golf swing. It's all about syncing up what the arms are doing and what your body's doing. Good golf swings have really good blend and really good sync of those two. Poor golf swings often don't have the right blend and the right sync. So I've got my target out there. I'm not actually going for the flag, I'm going for the kind of middle of the green. And you can see that I've just put 2 alignment sticks which are sort of parallel to that target line. And as I set up to this golf ball, you can see that my toes are sort of right into the middle of that alignment stick. Now, as I go to the top, I just want to show you kind of these movements. If I go to the top and I just add in the downward of my hands and arms, you can see that I miss that channel. That was because I didn't have any body turn. What's probably more common is that many of you from here will try and move the club and the hands towards the ball, and then as you add the body turn, you're going to get into this position. You can see I've missed the channel again, but on the other side. This is the one that's so common, that steep, that over the top swing that so many of you will be struggling with. So the goal here is to try and use the arms to send the club downwards, use the body to align it perfectly into the slot or the zone that we've got here, and that's your perfect delivery position. And do you know what? That feels really easy. It's just a case of pushing the hands down and rotating the body and getting that blend together. So all you would do really is you'd take a setup here and you just figure out for you how that feels. Your instinctive might be things like this: hands out, body turns, club misses. Your goal is this. Now, where do my hands and club look like they're going? They're not going straight down, they're going on an angle towards the golf ball. But that angle is because of my body turn. It's not because from here I'm trying to push my hands out. I'm not trying to push the club out. I'm trying to push my hands down, but as I push my hands down, my body turn causes them to move on an angle. So I can simply set up here and just rehearse hands down, body turns. Hands down, body turns. And those two movements are going to get you into this perfect delivery. Club shaft is level with the ground. My club is into that zone from my viewpoint. Probably fairly close from yours as well, but we're really looking at it from your viewpoint. This is key. Because from here, what have I got? I've got a perfect delivery where I can now deliver the club with a neutral path. It's going to stop me having a steep downswing. It's going to stop me coming over the top. It's going to stop me swiping across it. It's going to get rid of those pulls, those slices, those fades, those weak shots. It's going to give you much more consistent contact, much straighter ball flights. Once you've done a couple of those, all you would do is simply go ahead and do that and just collect the ball on the way through. So I call this a little punt drill. Take a setup, we've got 8 iron in hand, we go up, we find the zone, we find the zone, we find the zone, yeah. And then we go ahead and completely fat the golf ball. But do you know what? Look at the divot, fairly straight. And when you're doing drills and exercises, don't pay too much attention to the strike. That was terrible. I hit the ground, bounced away from 2 to 3 inches before the ball. But I'm learning new movements, I'm training new movements. And when you're training new movements, you're outside of your comfort zone. And what happens when you're outside your comfort zone? You hit some pretty ropey shots, but it's okay. That's why you wouldn't be doing this on the 5th hole of your local course in competition. You're doing it on the range. And then once you have basically sort of trained those movements, then you would take out the pause and build up to kind of full speed. So let's go ahead and see if we can hit one into the middle of that green. I've still got that zone there because that's helping me. But think about that basketball. I'm trying to push my hands down and let the body rotate and bring the club back in front of me. Okay, much easier to hit a shot when you're not stopping, and that one should be pretty perfectly into the middle of the green. Just drifting a little bit right, getting a little closer. And what did that movement give me in terms of a club path? 0.9, dead straight. Dead straight club paths gives dead straight shots. Dead straight shots make the game much easier to play. So think about that basketball. I'd love to go ahead and do that drill. Grab a ball, throw it down to the ground, add some turn, and you kind of got your perfect golf swing.